Hello, Baba C. Hello, Baba C. Okay,
Hello, John Rowe. Hello, John Rowe.
okay. So I'm taking up. I just rushed in and didn't realise what the time was. I was out looking after vehicles and you're the usual bit of
What's
life.
the
Hello,
what's the temp?
Waleed. How are you?
Hello, Waleed. What's the temperature where you are, John Rowe?
It's not bad. It's about just about freezing, I should think.
Well, we're 28 degrees Fahrenheit here in
Yeah. So
Washington, D.C.
you got ice and stuff.
We got snow
Well, snow. Well,
and supposed to be more snow.
we
Government offices.
it keeps threatening, but we don't get a lot these days with global warming.
Yeah. Well, we got snow. They're threatening more snow, and government offices are probably slow and late off opening today. In fact, they're telling people if you don't have to go
Okay,
out,
can I be co-host, please? Waleed as well. So thank you. Brilliant. Just to see who joins us today. Hopefully someone. That'd be really good.
that would be nice.
Because Babasi and I can't do the young tellers
No,
thing.
we missed it just by a couple of hairs.
Yeah. It's yeah. Even when my beard was ginger, my hair was brown.
You were originally a ginger?
No, my hair was brown, but my beard was ginger.
Ah, okay.
And so
My hair was black and my beard was black.
yeah, yeah. Uh, so you were never red.
No. I had friends who were, but no.
Yeah. No, a lot of my friends are of African heritage, but that's I think it's more mixed up with the Irish and the Caribbean. And ah, there we go. Right, where are we? Well, we're waiting. Let's say what's coming up. Well, we had a wonderful story round on Sunday.
Yes,
Uh,
we did.
we've got a who's it? Oh, Manuel. Is it Manuela? This this Friday. I think it's Manuela this Friday. Let's have a look.
Oh, before I forget, I'm still waiting on that email from you and uh-oh. I talked to the two of you on Friday. You were going to send me something in an email. I haven't gotten it yet about
Okay,
next Saturday.
remind me.
Send you messenger or email.
Yeah, remind me on Messenger, and then I'll email you. Well, no, just that you were going to send me something on email, and I know I was going to reply to it, wasn't I? So send it to me on john@johnrowe.com.
Now you just totally confused me.
John, John.
No, no. I'm sending you something at johnroe.com.
Yeah,
Email.
yeah, john@johnrowe.com.
Okay.
And then I'll get it. Then we don't have to talk. Right, let me go here. Worldwide story around. It's been a bit hectic, so. Oh no, it's Michael Kerrins, of course, this Friday from Scotland. Manuela is the Friday after. Well, good job I checked. And we're back to our worldwide story round happening every second week. All is good. And where have all our young people gone? So this may be one of those weeks. They're probably back at school or something. No, right.
Yep.
It's difficult. Let me have a look at my Facebook just to see if anyone sent me a message. Hold on. No. Let me. Edit. Post. Yeah.
Wow. It must be really cold out there.
Yeah. So, okay. Right, no one's joining us. We'll keep here. So, how is your existence in general? Is it on a? I remember what it was. It was, yeah, yeah.
Hey, John Rowe, not to be redundant, but you said send it to at John Rowe at johnrowe.com.
No, John at johnrowe.com.
Okay.
Well, that's why it hasn't got here yet. You haven't sent it.
No, because I had to make sure I got it right. Okay, so now. Um,
Yeah. Right, while we're waiting, what's happening? Well, we've got a
okay,
month.
I kept it brief. It's just saying, please send me the information regarding this Saturday.
The Saturday.
Yeah, that's what you guys told me, Saturday.
Ah, it was Mike Rust, wasn't it?
Yeah, you and Mike.
Yeah, yeah, that will work it. Yeah, it's a Saturday when I'm away. It's Saturday the 10th. I'm not sure
Yes.
what's happening yet, but I'm not part of it because I'm away working. So Mike Rust is dealing with it. That all makes sense now.
All right. I just need to know so I can block out. I got to know where I'm going to be so I can block out space and some privacy. You guys say
Yeah,
privacy, we say privacy. But
yeah,
yeah. So and I was doing it from my phone, which I'm still getting used to. I'm not used to sending emails and stuff from my phone.
yeah. I know it's a
So
pain. They're not. It's not as easy.
no. So you should be receiving that if not already.
Okay.
So it doesn't have my little flourishes and things that I usually do. It's just
It's got
bare
there.
bones.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm giving you a reply so you know.
That you got it.
It just says will do.
Okay.
I'm probably lying.
Oh man.
When I'm checking my old emails, I think I haven't done that. I must do that tomorrow. No, I'll do it as soon as possible. I'll talk to Mike.
Okay.
And yeah, I'll get him to email you. Right. Well, I can forward that to Mike Rust.
All right.
And then, or I'll tell him to. I'll give him your email, but we'll sort that. This isn't.
Oh wow. I know it's cold. I saw ice cubes putting on coats.
And what was he? Was he off to his next episode of NCI? No, not NCIS. Law and Order. What's he on? Law and Order.
Oh. Oh wow.
Sorry, I had to do it.
No. All right. So let me see. Close that. I'm waiting on it.
I remember before he was on television all the time. There was when I was working in an establishment of incarceration. I booked Benjamin Zephaniah, the poet, to come into the prison, and
wow.
And I advertised it all around, including people that were interested in him, and just the whole Caribbean population of the prison, and well, everyone, but especially because there was rarely any artists coming in that they would be interested. And the very morning he was coming in, they put, and it was before the in-cell televisions. It was when televisions in prisons were just in association rooms, and there was an Ice Cube film on, and about 2 people turned up for Benjamin.
Oh wow!
So, and I remember sitting trying, and the chapel, the entrance to the chapel was opposite the entrance to. There was sort of little corridors, there was open air from the yard. There was like a little thing, and on one side there was the doors to the education, on the other side was the doors to the chapel. And I stood there fighting with the Catholic priest who was trying to entice people into the chapel, and I was trying to entice people into CJ Benjamin. You don't see that kind of surrealism on prison documentaries, but that's much more the real thing. Oh dear.
And of course, you're writing a book about all of this.
Well, I can't put too much of that sort of thing in, but I am writing the book pootling through. In fact, it's getting near its deadline. I'm up to about 71,000 words at the moment. So, well, it's a mixture of poems and essays and things. So it's not a chronological autobiography. It's sort of going backwards and forwards. It's got the chaos of it's trying to reflect the chaos of my brain. So it might deal with several bits of the same period of time, but from a different angle, so I based it around vehicles and music and more vehicles. Yeah, and great. And I did the whole thing about Texas. And, yeah. So it's coming on. It's coming on. I'm under pressure.
The pressure.
Well, I've been paid to do it. The Arts Council have given me money to do it, and I've spent all the money already. So.
Oh, so you have to do it.
well, yeah. Well, I have to do more than this. It's a huge project. Takes about a year.
Right.
But they, I'll get more when I finished it. But they hold it just to make sure they do you do the projects. They hold the
Right.
percentage back until they get the final report. Very sensible of them.
Yes.
I wouldn't trust a bunch of artists.
Especially if they're starving.
Yeah, well, it got me my new vehicle when the last one collapsed. Well, got me my old vehicle. It got me another old vehicle. Last one collapsed.
But it's new to you.
It's shiny, or it was when I got it the other month. I will run it through the car wash.
I remember one of the cars we had when I was growing up. It had a hole in the floorboard, and I think it was in the back. In the back, yeah, in the back, there was a hole, and the way they dealt with it is they put a mat across the hole, and
Yeah,
then reminded the kids there's a hole on the other side of that mat, so you wouldn't really put your weight on the boy. I mean, growing up, the cars and the way we rode in cars back then, you couldn't do that today. Well, not legally.
no. No, I remember having cars with holes in and the water keeps to splashing, and I knew it was cold when there was an ice there was a sheet of ice in front of the passenger seat because of the water that
See,
comes through the
yeah.
car. Yeah,
My mom used to, people would ask if we had air conditioning. My mom would say, yes, it's conditioned to be hot in the summer and cold in the winter.
reasonable. That's what Windows for.
Yeah.
Yeah, cars are much simpler then. You could mend them yourself.
Yes. Yes. And often did.
Well, yeah,
But to this day, I only know three things about cars. Either they work or they don't.
yeah. Well, I remember I didn't realize just how much that no one made things themselves, or generally didn't make things themselves in America. They didn't repair stuff. They went and bought a new bit, and
See,
they went and bought a new bit in general. You know, you went down Ace Hardware and bought a new thing, and so I learned that when I tried to find a puncture repair fit for a kit for a bicycle tube, and in Texas, and no, everyone looked at me like I was some kind of eccentric. You bought a new tube, you didn't mend the old one. So I was kind of relieved to get down to Mexico, where I found people still lived like I did.
Mexico or New Mexico?
No, Mexico,
Okay.
and but I was traveling around Europe, and there was an American serviceman, and he's something gone wrong with the linkage in his Ford, in his little European Ford he had, and the throttle pedal didn't work. And I sort of fashioned this piece like this and drilled holes in it and faked it, put it in, and it was working. And he thought, "Wow, people do that." I thought, "Yeah, that's
Yeah.
how I stay on the road, man."
Yes.
Yeah. But that was it. That was man where we got stopped on the German border between Holland and German, and there must be 5 nationalities in the back of the van, and
Whoa.
they're just on the floor. And so the border guard asked for our passports, and we handed out this pile of passports from about 5 nations. And you know, it was on them, and so he got very suspicious. Then started searching the van. He grabbed this old coat from underneath my passenger seat without realizing it was the coat I put on to crawl under vans to mend them, repair them when they died on the autobahn. And yeah, so and one pocket was really full and weight, so he went and he had beautifully manicured hands, and he shoved his hand in this pocket full of greasy nuts and bolts
Ugh.
and pulled it out. You may pass into Germany. We never got trouble on that border again. You think anyone's going to join us?
I don't know. Usually by now, at least one person.
Yeah. Well,
You
we'll
give
hang
it
on
8 more
for
minutes.
we'll hang
Give
on
it at
for
least,
another 8 minutes. We'll
yeah.
hang on till past. Let's see. Sometimes I get an email from no, I've only just got emails. What have I got? Has anyone Facebook me a message? No. Sometimes I get a apology from Jazame's mum.
Right.
That hasn't. Everyone said they'd be back this week, didn't they? Last week.
They said they would. I think they said they would try to be back. Yes.
Yeah. Nothing is certain in this world, and we are in the wonderful world of virtual reality. So their virtual reality is probably different from our virtual reality today. We're not on the same consensus reality. Yeah, what would Descartes and all them philosophers make about the modern world?
They would definitely sit around in a circle and have a conversation about it.
Yeah, I think, therefore I am. Takes on a
Or
whole.
are you? You
That's
bring
what I mean.
artificial intelligence into it, and
This
that
is
would be
what I
quite a
mean.
debate.
Well,
Yes.
Ted Jones, I've talked about to you, who's an African American poet I spent some time with.
Yes.
About the beat movement. He's written this. I'll see if I can find it, because you'll laugh when you just say, let's go to Google, and yeah, Google. You can let anyone in while I'm searching.
Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
Yeah. This is a great poem by him. If you should see a man walking down a crowded street, talking aloud to himself, don't run in the opposite direction, but run towards him, for he is a poet. You have nothing to fear from the poet, but the truth.
Whoa.
Nowadays, if you see a man walking down the street by himself, you'll know he's talking to his mobile phone, which he's got in his pocket.
What used to get me is that I would be walking down the street, talking to my earbud, talking to my earpiece, and
Yeah.
people would be looking at me like, is he talking to himself? And these are the same people who have their earpieces in their phone talking to someone on the phone through their earpiece. And I'm like, okay, you're doing what I'm doing, but I'm the one getting the strange looks. But then,
Yeah. Well, I can understand that.
for those just tuning in, you're listening to Brothers of the Beard talking to each other while waiting for the young storytellers to join us.
Right. It's amazing. I haven't looked up Ted for ages on the net. You could hardly find anything about him. But obviously, as the beats are becoming more fashionable, people are finding more stuff by him on the on the and putting it up on the net. Yeah, his quote. You'll like this. Jones is known for his motto: "Jazz is my religion, and surrealism is my point of view."
Oh, that's deep. Yes, yes. I like that. You're right.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll find. Yeah, he's got his own page on afropoets.com. .net.
Afro
Afropoets.net.
Afropoets.net. Oof. So some good news for me is that from now until June, I am uh, involved in the after school program on Mondays.
Excellent.
So that's good. And I have another program. I had to go be fingerprinted and have a background check done so I can work in another program.
Oh, that's
And
that, and you got all the insurance things sorted out.
no, I haven't gotten that sorted out. I still have to, because of my situation, I had to divert those funds.
Now,
That's enough.
now see if you can join the actors union.
I've considered that. Here's the drawback of joining the union. Whether you work or not, you have to pay the dues.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be. But there'll be a minimal due for the dues will be less than an insurance policy. I'll assure you.
Okay, I'll look into that.
Because and a minimum that they'll have. I forget what. I mean, equity is the British equivalent, but there's equity and there's an American union that is the equivalent. And you'll probably join the variety branch because they won't have a branch for storytellers, but they will have a branch for variety, and you'll come under variety. And so, and the thing is that with my equity, and it'll probably be the same with unions in America, because it's really difficult to get public liability when you're crazy. I mean, when you're in our profession, I get 10 million as part of my membership. I get 10 million pounds of public liability, which is what public buildings require for you to work in them.
I'll definitely look into that.
And it costs me, I don't know, £13 a month or something, about $20, $18 a month or something. But an insurance policy, if I just got a public liability insurance policy, it cost me loads more than that.
Yeah, I was told it would cost me something like $500 a year.
Yeah, ain't going to cost you that to be in the union.
I'll look into that because
because actors union dues will be based on, well, there's bands, so below so you pay minimum dues because you're just a bog standard actor that's in and out of work.
Right. Well, how do you get around the fact that if you're in the union, you're not supposed to do non-union jobs?
You don't even think about it. They wouldn't even notice. No, it's not. The variety, it'll be very different to, if you were in a theater, it will be different. But
I'll look and see if we have the equivalent.
And in fact, storytellers' wages, if you're paid, are generally higher than an actor's wages in a small theater.
This is true.
So there won't be a problem. Otherwise, you just say you're doing a charity gig.
Right. I know years ago we would do programs and there would be some union folk, and when the credits rolled, they didn't post their names. You know, you would see their faces, but they wouldn't post their names, or they use
Pseudonym.
they use, yeah, you know.
Yeah, you probably have to have a pseudonym as a union name anyway, because I mean, mine is because you can't have two people with the same name.
Right.
So there's a same equity name. It's probably I forget the name of the American Union, but they work very similar, and
Right.
because there's always been sort of quid pro quo. You know, American actors come over here.
Right.
They work to equity rules and vice versa. And so I'll just say I'll look it up. Let's right. So
see, here we have SAG and we have AFTRA, and I
I'm
know
looking up. I'm looking up U.S. equivalent, because you want the equivalent of equity, because equity has this variety. Well, yeah. These unions are the American Guild of Musical Art, American Guild of Variety Artists.
let me write that down. I don't write very fast. American Guild
of Variety Artists, AGVA.
See, I hadn't heard of that before. All right, so I need to look into
Right.
that.
So, yeah. So, I mean, the Screen Actors Guild and the American Federation of Television and Radio Artists is SAG and SAG-CAG-AFTRA. But I think the guild, try the Guild of Variety Artists, the one I said.
Right. AGVA.
Yeah, well, this is what it said: American Guild of Musical Artists, American Guild of Variety Artists,
right?
AGVA. See what the advantage are to their membership, and see if their membership is. I mean, there's all sorts of things over here that you get public liability in. I mean, if you're a busker, you could claim to be a street trader, so you join a street traders guild, and that has the so a friend of mine did that.
We don't have that here.
Yeah. So, but what are the three acting unions? Actors Equity Association. There's also Actors Equity Association, AEA.
Actors Equity Association.
Yeah. So the Actors Equity Association, AEA, commonly called Actors Equity or simply Equity, is an American labor union representing those who work in live theatre, performers appearing on live stage productions without a book or through storyline vaudeville cabaret circuses, may be represented by the American Guild of they recommend performers appearing in live stage productions without a book or through storyline vaudeville cabaret circuses, which is us, may be represented by the American Guild of Variety Artists, which was the first one I gave you.
Right.
yeah, so yeah, you probably be because you're not in the book of actors and
No.
no, yeah, I know what they mean by the book. Um, so you really want that. So yeah, I would AGVA, yeah. I think that's the one for you.
And I'm
And
going to definitely check that out.
hopefully they'll have a public liability insurance bit as part of the membership.
Right. I'll look that up.
Yeah, I mean, I recommend. That's why I tell musicians to join the music union because they all those things. It's so difficult to get public liability. But you know,
Yeah.
you
And
know,
that's
and
the thing that
just choose any one of your many postal addresses to have a. Yeah, well, variety artists travel, circuses
yes,
travel, so it's
yes,
not a problem. Temporary accommodation is not a problem.
right, right. No, I do have a PO box. That's what we call
Well, PO
it.
box, yeah, PO box is excellent.
Yeah,
PO box, loads of people have PO boxes.
yeah.
And that as your official postal address. But and you choose one of your random children as just say you're my official address. Avoid if you get any letters threatening to bankrupt me, put them in a bin.
Well, we're now
Deny
going
all
on.
knowledge of me.
Hey,
Yeah, yeah. So
we're now going on
I
40
don't think
past.
we're going to get anyone today.
No, that's unusual. At least one person will have.
Well, we have had the occasional week with no one.
Yeah, yeah,
But I hope this has
yeah.
been productive.
It has. It has. I've gotten. You are a font of information. That's a compliment.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, I've fallen down all these holes myself. Or rather, I've done the tightrope walk to avoid falling down.
Well, I'm working on trying on getting some things for February, um, because that's usually my bread and butter month. And it
No.
dawned on me that I need to put the word out that I'm available.
Yeah, I
Uh,
need to do that. I
yeah,
am yeah. I've got World Book Day is my really busy week. I've got five. I've got about 8 bookings round that time on the week before the week that week and the week after, which is the beginning of
right,
March.
right, right.
That'll refill the coffers.
Yeah, my challenge is that I for various reasons I can't carry the various things I usually carry. So I've been getting back to my roots. I usually carry things and dress the audience in African clothing and stuff like that and carry my drums. And I can't do that right now. So, but I'm looking at ways to get around that.
Yeah. Now,
And then
if you
the
turn
thing
up to
is,
school with everything in a shopping trolley, people think you're a tramp.
yes, yes. But then again, I'm thinking I did very well in Marrakesh without all those
Yeah,
trappings. I should be able to do that here. So, I'm looking at that.
yeah.
I'm
Well,
yeah.
or maybe just one small drum.
Um, yeah,
Yeah, I know
I've
you
thought
like your
about that.
djembe and stuff, but
Yeah. Or the other thing I do is arrange it so that if I have my drummer with me, I have a drummer that I utilize. And if I can arrange the fee so I can pay him decently as well as myself, I think I know that we can do it. First of all, I know I can do it anyhow, but I'm in competition with myself. Over the years, I show up with all this stuff. I do this display table. I dress people up and all that kind of stuff. And to show up without all that stuff, I'm wondering if that might be counterproductive.
no,
But I have to work.
I think you'll be fine because you're building up again.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
no, that all that stuff is a young man's game. The other
yes,
thing that might be useful, and if I might make another suggestion, David,
please.
Dave Mauer, that if you're talking about roots and so forth, but take it to what the improvised instruments of African Americans when they didn't have that available.
Yes.
So you get them, so I mean, things like the guys with the six strings nailed onto
Right.
a porch post, and making fantastic. You listen to recordings that they're fantastic. Talk about the origins of banjo and all that, and then show where that developed from.
Right. Right.
But you can get the kids to just have a pile of stuff, just stuff that the school provides, or you just scrap to turn up with, just a light suitcase full, and just get them, saying, if this is all you had, you give them a little talk about the instruments and stuff before. You say, if this is what you had, this is all you had, what would you use to make a sound with?
Well, we've had them do that. We've had them do their hands. We've had them do on sometimes when we do classroom presentations, we've had them use the desktops as drums. Yeah, so you're right. That's why I started getting back into the roots.
It's only a train of thought I'm trying to start here.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Been there,
so you don't need all
that
stuff, again. But you could wrap it up in a kind of historical context, which would make you, so we're not just getting the kids to bash on the things. We're showing, we're showing the root of that, where that came from, and and all that sort of thing. So there's basically you don't need to. You just need to turn up as you.
Yes.
If I can have 1,000 children walking through a school behind you shouting "Baba see, Baba see," you don't need anything else but Baba see.
Yes. And yes. You've definitely lifted my spirits today, John Rowe. And for that, Asante Sana, thank you very much.
Right, and we've had 3/4 now, and I don't think so. I think we're going to let Wally get on with his work. We're going to thank him for his patience.
And before you go, once again, what do we have coming up?
Well, that's very important. We have Michael Kerritz on Friday. Next Tuesday, we hope to have actually young tellers on our young tellers things, not the John Rowe
and Baba C.
Not the John Rowe careers advice. I'm the last person you should be taking careers advice from. Okay, you look after yourself, Baba.
All right, you do the same. Take care. Thanks, Waleed, for flying the magic.
Bye.
We're gonna have to find a new phrases here. But see out.